Welcome, everyone, to Better Deals and Money. We're so glad you joined us tonight. Let's take a moment and recognize who's in the house. It's always exciting to see our community growing. Brian Hedges from Australia, Bob Richardson, Christina Collins, David Richards, Don Chadwick, Mel Knoll, Pauline Celestine, RF, Roosevelt Barnes, Seymour Stewart, Shirley York, Tom Leonard, Willie D., Michael Johnson. Welcome, welcome, and a special welcome to the new people on our call tonight. Now, the reason we're here is simple. We're here to show you how BDM could be the solution to the missing money in your budget. Let's be honest. Most people today are struggling financially, perhaps more than any other time in their lives. And even those who have plenty of money are typically looking for ways to earn more. Now, here's the challenge. In the traditional world, to make serious money, you usually need to start with serious money. The beauty with BDM is that roadblock is gone. With a simple $10 decision, you could start a chain reaction that grows into $496 in monthly income, not in years from now, but within days or weeks, and that's just the beginning. From there, you can leverage the system as far as you want to go, even to legacy level income. It may sound unbelievable that $10 can open that kind of door, but if you'll stick with me tonight, I'm going to show you exactly how that works. We built BDM on a principle that works every time. Give and it shall be given unto you. This is a universal law that applies to everything, just like gravity. Farmers understand it. You plant seeds, you get a harvest. At BDM, we apply that same principle to money and dreams. The Amish have been doing this forever. Picture this. A young Amish couple gets married, moves into a new home with almost nothing. One day a neighbor knocks and says, "How would you like a barn?" Of course, the newlyweds can't afford a new barn, but the neighbor goes on to say, "You don't have to pay for it. We'll build it." And in just one day, 100 neighbors show up. By sunset, the barn is standing strong. And the only thing the couple agrees to do is feed the workers and help other members of the community build their barns. That's exactly what we do at BDM. We help each other raise capital to pay for whatever project that is dear to you. And that could be, in fact, a new barn, or it could be paying bills, taking care of family, travel, vacations, or a project you've been waiting to start. Whatever your reason is, write it down and put a dollar figure next to it, because what you're about to see can make any amount of money a reality. And when you sow into this community, your seed multiplies, not in months or years. It can happen within days, and you'll see exactly how it works. The Bible says if a people come together in the spirit of unity, nothing can be withheld from them. Well, the word community includes the word unity, and BDM is reigniting that spirit right here and now. No, unity is baked right into community, and for most of our history, people lived by seed time and harvest and helping one another. Well, somewhere along the way, we lost that rhythm. BDM is about bringing it back, because when we move into unity, failure isn't possible. When you join BDM, you're stepping into a private member club where we live by a code of honesty, generosity, and helping each other win. You get a back office with tools, tracking, and training. You start with one enrollment and choose people who typically succeed at whatever they do. Why? Because they're the ones that recognize an opportunity quickly and take action when they do, and because one right person can potentially make you wealthy. Eventually, your goal will be to have 4 or more. With just 4 referrals, you're already in profit, and that's enough to carry you to the top of the plan. Not hundreds, not thousands, just 4. And from there, the system fast tracks you to $496 monthly income and beyond. So the Amish raise barns with wooden nails. We raise barns with dollars and community. And if you're thinking, "I can't give right now," remember, you don't have to start big. Start with $10. Use your profits to scale up, Duplication does the heavy lifting, and your harvest moves faster than you expect. So let's start this journey together. We're about to play a short video that breaks down the numbers and shows you exactly how this $10 seed can grow into $496 monthly quickly.
My name is John Austin, and I'm coming at you today with an amazing opportunity, something the world has never seen before. A first-of-its-kind, dual-stream compensation plan designed to turn just $10 a month into $496 in monthly income, and it could happen in days, not months. Sounds almost unbelievable, right? But stay with me. Imagine designing the perfect plan, a plan for the little guy, where even someone who struggles to recruit could still earn perpetual profits. A plan for the masses, where a small seed, leveraged correctly, grows into a fortune, fast. And a plan powerful enough to attract million-dollar leaders, who can earn thousands daily, right out of the gate. Tough decision, right? We built all three. Welcome to Better Deals and Money. Our dual-stream plan combines the two most powerful systems ever created. First is our high-powered coded 2-up plan, where everyone you personally refer takes the next available frontline position. No waiting, instant pay. With one exciting twist, your second and fourth personal referrals pass up to your sponsor. But that's not loss, it's leverage. Let me explain. The 2-up plan has long been considered by experts to be the most powerful compensation plan ever created, paying up to 20 times what some others pay. Then you might ask, why don't all companies use it? The answer is simple: fear of loss. Nobody wants to give up two good people, especially when it could be their best two. Our newly created dual-stream plan overcomes that weakness by stopping any loss with its opposing reversed alternate fast-track plan, designed for speed, simplicity, and serious momentum. Here's how it works. It perfectly opposes the 2-up plan, meaning you never lose anyone. Every even payment from your team goes to you. Every odd payment fuels your upline. You get paid in either one plan or the other on every single person you refer, and because both plans are equally powerful, you simply cannot lose. Together, they create a ripple effect of speed, momentum, and duplication. It's never been done before, and it doesn't stop there. We stacked this model across 4 easy entry points, from just $10 to $100. Every upgrade unlocks new streams of income, flowing to you 24/7. And for the high risers, we have elite plans from $250 to $20,000. And we built this in such a way that one can start at $10 and scale all the way to the top with no more money out of pocket. And here's the beauty: low cost to start. Simple system anyone can follow. Results that duplicate quickly. No hype. No gimmicks. Just a straightforward way to put real money in your pocket. You get a system designed to move you quickly toward $496 in monthly income. Not someday. Not after months of grinding, but within days. And you don't have to stop there. You can scale up just as quickly to be earning thousands monthly. Now imagine this. A simple $10 decision today could cover groceries, gas, bills, or whatever matters most to you. Every single month. All from a system that's built to actually work. We made it fair for everyone. Do nothing. You earn nothing. But with just one good referral, you can earn hundreds of dollars monthly, and 4 referrals is all that you need to go to the top level of the comp plan and earn thousands. Not 20, not 100, not into the thousands so you can cover your auto ship like other opportunities. That doesn't exist here. Look at this chart. With just 62 people on your team, you are earning $496 monthly. As your organization grows deeper, and it will with just 10 levels of duplication, you would now earn over $16,000 monthly, and it doesn't stop there. Some legs will go 100 levels deep and deeper. What happens if you personally refer 10? That's over $53,000 monthly. And what if your team average goes to 5? That's $154,000 monthly. But why would you stop there? But let's start with a realistic goal, because anybody can earn $496 monthly with consistent effort. That lets you experience the system working and motivates you to do even more. Just $10 a month to earn unlimited income. There are no other fees, so here's the choice. Keep doing what you're doing, or take one small step today that could create a $496 monthly income stream in just days. Ready to get started? Just follow these simple steps. Complete the registration form using a valid email address. Check your inbox for a verification email and click the link inside. If it doesn't arrive right away, check your spam folder and mark it as not spam. Log into your dashboard with your email and username. From the left-hand menu, click Make a Purchase, then select Dual Stream. You can get started for only $10. Want to accelerate your earnings? You can scale up anytime by making more than one Dual Stream entry. Bonus: when you pay with a credit or debit card, you'll also receive a vacation package worth hundreds of dollars as our thank you for your donation. This is John Austin. Thanks for watching. Let's build your income together.
Okay, what a great video. You know, having been in this industry 60 years, starting at age 14, I wish I'd had something like BDM to work anytime during those 60 years. Would have been great. I believe personally that this is the greatest plan that's ever been revealed, and let's take a look at how you can get started. When you complete your registration and confirm your email address, you'll be able to log in to your dashboard, which looks like this. This is a demo account that we've created. First thing you want to do is go here and make a purchase and choose Dual Stream. Okay, you'll see that once you complete one of these, it'll show taken. Just to demonstrate how this works, I'll click on the $100 one. You have a choice of credit card, your e-wallet, or crypto. In this case, I do have money in the e-wallet, but let's click on the credit card just so you can see how that works. Here you're going to get a vacation if you want to use it or not. 8 days, 7 nights in Puerto Vallarta. $100 includes a $100 dual stream. So your subtotal is 100, processing fee of $5, total of 105. You put in your credit card information, click pay, and that will show up right here as already taken. Okay, get familiar with your dashboard here. One thing I would encourage you to do is take a look at the income calculator, dual stream. This is the one you saw in the video. Now, I want you to understand that what happens here is there's two streams of income. We have the two-up earnings and the fast-track earnings. So essentially what's happening when you donate $10, $5 of that is going into the two-up, $5 is going into the fast-track. So you will be earning from two different streams. Okay, looking at the $10 stream, let's take this down to a number that would give us $496 monthly income. So that's really our goal, folks. I've interviewed a lot of millionaires in this industry. By and large, all of them started out with a goal to earn $300 to $500 a month. They weren't looking to earn $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. They were looking to take care of some real world needs. Maybe putting a child through college, making a car payment, putting food on the table, putting a new roof on their house, whatever it might be. They were just looking for $300 to $500, and that's a realistic goal. And the reason they were successful is because it was a realistic goal. They knew that they weren't going to earn that overnight. They went to work. It might have been a few months later. Maybe it took them 6 months. Maybe it took them a year to earn that $300 to $500 a month. But once they got there, they could see farther down the road, so to speak. They just set a higher goal. And the beauty of it is, folks, once you get that 62 people, you're not working alone. You've got other people that are helping to build your business while they're building their business. And so going from 496 to 1,000 is going to be much easier and much faster than it was to go from 0 to 496. In fact, scaling up is really the easy part of this business. When you're building a foundation, And what's the foundation? That's your first person, your second person, your third person. When I graduated from high school and went to college, I rented an apartment across from a new high rise that was going in. And for seems like about 6 months, they dug this huge hole in the ground, and these cement trucks, they had a road going around in a circle going down into that hole. And all day long, these cement trucks are winding down into that, and you couldn't see down to the bottom of it. From at least from my apartment, it was a second story window apartment. But they would wind down in there and then wind back out. And for a long time, you've seen nothing but cement trucks going down in there. But once they got the foundation laid, then it seemed like, floors started going up every few days. Another floor was going on top of another one. And the foundation is the slow part of any business. And that's true with network marketing. It's true with brick and mortar businesses. The average brick and mortar business doesn't make a profit for the first 5 years. So let's look at this, very realistic goal of $496. You start with your first 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And here we have, in this case, 4 personal referrals, a team average of 4. And realistically, couldn't you find 4 people with only a $10 entry? So, the so the first field is your personal referrals. The second field is your team average, and the third field is your levels. Okay, so we started with levels of at 5, giving you 62 people, and with 62 people on your team, you're already earning $496. You're earning $248 in the 2 upstream, $248 in the reverse fast track. So think about that for a second. How many companies have you joined in the past where you never even came close to that amount? $496 a monthly income is a turning point for a lot of people. Once they earn that much, it's like pouring gasoline on the fire. They'll just keep on going. And naturally, you will refer more, and so will your team, and your levels will grow deeper and deeper. So by playing with the numbers, you can create your own dream and game plan. Well, what would happen if you went to 10 personals? Now we're looking at $1,000 a month. What if you took from that $1,000 and went into the $20 plan, and then to the $50 plan, and then to the $100 plan? We're looking at $20,000 monthly income, and we haven't even talked about our team average increasing. And it could increase and increase. What about increasing the levels? The levels never stop. They go infinite levels deep, and some of your legs will eventually get to 100 levels deep. So here, with just 9 levels, we're looking at $1 million a monthly income. Now that's a stretch for a lot of people, and it's certainly not going to happen overnight for anyone. But truth of the matter is, it is possible. There are people in this industry that earn over $1 million in monthly income. So, and took them a lot longer because this compensation plan actually pays 20 times what most compensation plans pay. So the beauty of this about starting with a realistic goal is twofold. You can actually reach it. It's not some pie in the sky number. Once you do, you'll quickly realize just how simple it is to multiply that income again and again. And if you reach $496, then 10 times that amount isn't just possible, it's inevitable as your team continues to grow. So what I'd like to do is allow you to unmute. You can raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question as we're going forward here. But let's go back to our dashboard here. you have your wallet. This is going to show all of your money going in and out, your genealogy as you begin to build your team, your websites. The video that we just watched is this one right here. So this is a personalized link. You can just click this little square right here that will copy to your dashboard, and then you can paste that link uh, into a social media, email, um, wherever you want to, uh, whatever method you want to use to get the word out. You have some marketing tools here, banners, short videos, flyers, etc. Definitely want you to uh, join our Telegram group so you can stay plugged in, keep up to date. Any updates we have, we always post a message there whenever we have a webinar. This video right here, video that would change your life forever. This is a secret script that was sold for up to $5,000, and it's something that's changed a lot of people's lives. You may want to watch that video, and then once you do, you can come over here and actually get the secret script. Um, that's pretty much everything. So definitely go through your dashboard. But let's take some questions. If anybody has a question, comment. Brian, you're a co-host, so you can unmute anytime. Go
Look at
ahead.
that. I learned how to raise my hand.
Oh, great. Tell us how.
Now I've got to learn how to put it back down again. John, one of our members who's on, here we go, took it down again. Don Chadwick, he's here today. He said he can't talk, but he asked, he sent me an email, and I do apologize, Don, I haven't got back to you. And the main reason being is that I'm going through cancer treatments daily, and when I get home, they knock me around something shocking, so I normally fall asleep, but I will get back to you. Don's question was about marketing tools in the back office, and he was wondering if we could have some sample emails, either written by yourself, myself, or any other good networker, that the members could use to promote BDM online.
Mm-hmm.
So over to you.
Okay, sure. We can work on that.
How far are we away for having the dual stream up and running, John?
Well, the dual stream is up and running. There's still some things that have to be done, and my programmer is telling me that he'll have that done probably by Monday or Tuesday this week, this coming week.
Right.
But as far as anybody joining now, all of that's done. They can come into the back office, click make a purchase, and that's all there. Right there's your dual stream. I do believe this account doesn't have any genealogy, so I really couldn't show you genealogy. But I think some genealogy is showing here. Well, no, maybe not. But we're getting very close to having all of the updates made, Brian.
That's good. I will just now be quiet. Let somebody else.
Okay, Christina.
Hi, John. I wonder, owning the various clubs, like not the dual stream, but if you have the car club or the house club or the groceries club, I mean, what do you do with those to have them individually?
Okay.
How would you use them?
Okay, so what we're doing is we're combining everything together into the dual stream.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah. So if you have, for example, one of those clubs, whatever that level is, we're going to transpose that over to the dual stream.
Do I do that through customer service, or how would that happen?
No, that's all going to be done. That's part of what isn't completed yet. Will be done by probably Monday or Tuesday is what my programmer is telling me.
So it'll automatically move it to the dual stream.
Yeah.
Does that include also the travel club?
No, travel club and discount club, those those will still remain.
Okay.
In fact,
Oh, that's good to
uh,
know. I thought so,
actually,
but I wasn't sure. That's why I was
yeah,
asking.
glad you brought that up because I need to make a note. Those need to be added back to make a purchase.
Well, I
Uh,
bought them originally, but then I never did anything because I didn't know what to do. So now I'm like,
uh-huh.
what do I do with them?
Yeah,
So,
we're going to, yeah, like I said, this is all moving extremely fast, and I'm kind of the one that has to uh, do the QC on this because I'm the one who knows how it's supposed to look in the end.
well, I
Normally we
offered to help, but as soon as I have some time, I will. So
say that again.
I said, I offered to help when you were saying the other night. I really mean that. It's just trying to get free from the rest of the things
Sure.
in my life. But
Well,
I'm getting
Brian
it.
has a list of the people who have volunteered to kind of be on a leaderboard,
Uh-huh.
and this we're just going to have maybe a weekly meeting, and Brian is going to spearhead that. He's going to be reaching out to anybody that wants to, join in on those discussions. It's not going to be anything extremely high powered. It's just going to be kind of keeping, from my point of view, keeping you all abreast of what's going on, what we're working on, and then from your point of view, offering suggestions like Don Chadwick just did, these type of things. So, anybody who wants to be on that list, feel free to put a note in the chat there, and Brian can write down uh, your name, and we'll definitely be reaching out to you and setting up a time when we can all come together on a Zoom.
Well, I definitely appreciate this sense of community and helpfulness. I think that's very, very important for people, especially for me, but I think for others too.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, it's nice to feel part of something, not just kind of left out on the edges, where you can actually come in and ask questions, give input, and actually have a voice in something.
Right. Well, little by little, it's
Yeah,
getting there.
it takes time to build something like this, and I mean, if you look at our dashboard and everything, where we started and where we are now, it's pretty incredible.
Right. It really is. It's looking great. What I want to ask you also, what about, I mean, since everybody's talking about AI or using AI to a certain extent, at one point before there was something mentioned about for marketing. I forgot the name of it. Started with a B, I think. But do you have anything else up your sleeve for AI to promote?
Um, yeah, I'm looking into a thing or two. If basically if we can't find something that's suitable, I'm gonna see if my programmer can't build something once we get everything caught up. But
Well, I
yeah,
know of something. I'll send it to you, and so you can have a look and tell me what you think if it's worthwhile using or not.
sure. There are
How
uh,
do
there
you?
there are a couple out there. I just came across another one that may not be this way, but there's
Mhm.
one in particular out there that is built for a particular company. Uh, well, actually they're promoting 4 or 5 companies. I don't know, and we could probably use that, but then it creates diversification because they're doing all their advertising and trying to pull our people, in various directions. And that's really not what we want to do. We want it coming together. We want unity, not diversity.
Mhm. Got it. I'll email it to you.
So yeah, this is something that's definitely on our mind, and any ideas, or if you see something that looks interesting, we'll definitely take a look at it, and if we have to build something on our own, we can borrow ideas from what other people are doing.
Yeah, it's coming about fast, that's for sure. The robots are rolling out.
Yep. Tom
Well,
Leonard.
people are losing their
Yes.
jobs and they're going to need help more than ever.
That's right.
Yeah. Hello, John.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Tom.
Yeah. I emailed you this question, and I'll refer to it on our call tonight.
Okay.
As you know, you're not going to change the 80-20 rule of this country, and
of the world. Yeah.
and when it comes to referrals on the calculator, it shows 4.
Yeah.
It won't go below. Okay. Now, the majority of the people are not going to do 4. But if they could see the possibility of doing 1 or 2 and then multiplying that down several levels, that might change their mind, because
Okay.
the average guy only sponsors, he's lucky to sponsor 1.
Well, actually, the reason they're lucky to only sponsor 1 is because that's all the commitment they have.
Right.
Truthfully, that's and as we've talked about it, it does take commitment. And I don't care what you're doing. I mean, it takes commitment to get out of bed in the morning. It takes commitment. Anything you're going to do worthwhile, it takes a commitment. If you look back on your life, whether it was a job, a business, an opportunity, the success of all of those depended upon your commitment.
Right.
I've got a friend. His name is Jim, and he was a big Amway guy. He started out, he had to drop out of high school because he got his girlfriend pregnant, and he wasn't going to uh, step away from his obligations. He got married, took care of his wife and child, and the best job he could get was a gas station attendant. But he said to himself, I'm going to be the best gas station attendant in the world. That was his attitude. He actually said that. He actually made that commitment. Rain or shine, he was out there greeting the people, getting to know them, learning about them and their families, checking the tires, checking the fan belt, checking the oil, washing the windows, whatever needed to be done. And he got to where he couldn't get any better. He just couldn't be a better gas service station attendant. Well, one day, a gentleman came from across town and gassed up there, and he was so impressed with Jim that he decided to come there every time he needed gas. He drove clear across town, just so he could, be serviced by this fellow. And then one day he said, why is an up and coming young fellow like you not working up at the factory? And the factory was the highest paying job in town. And he said, well, because you need a high school diploma and I don't have one. And he said, well, you show up on Monday and you've got a job. So I don't know if this guy was a manager or owner, in the factory. But so Jim took this job, and they were building some kind of circuit boards or something, electronics. And Jim said, well, I'm going to be the best, the best worker in this factory. And eventually he got to the point where he could build more circuit boards in a day, or as many circuit boards in a day as some people were building in a week. But he couldn't get any better. You finally reach a point where you can't get any better. So one day somebody invites him to an Amway meeting, and he sees these circles drawn on the board, and he sees how, if he went to work, he could probably make a lot more money than he's making at the factory. So he quit his job at the factory, bought an Amway kit, and went to work. Well, this was a whole new deal. He didn't really know what he was doing, and he was kind of failing. But somebody saw his effort, took him under his wing, and this wasn't even, Jim wasn't even in his downline. But he took him under his wing and showed him how to do the business. Jim went on to make millions of dollars. And
Mhm.
and finally he sold his Amway business and went on to become an author and consultant. Uh, uh, and he took a speed reading course. He learned how to read, I don't know, thousands of words per minute. And he had a 94% retention rate. And he read hundreds of books, and then he extrapolated from those books to create his own courses and whatnot. And he went on to make millions more. So there's something about life, and I think it's another law, and I don't know the name of the law or how to even describe it, but it's a principle that when you do the best that you can do, and you can't ever get any better at what you're doing, God will open doors for you to expand and do even better in a maybe a different direction. And that's all about commitment. So what did Jim do? He made a commitment. He said, I'm going to be the best service station attendant in the world.
Mhm.
And he probably was.
Sure.
He probably was.
Mhm.
And then he went on and did the same thing. I'm going to be the best worker in this factory. And he probably was, but he couldn't get any better. You see, and other doors opened, led him, here's a kid that dropped out of high school. What's his chances of ever becoming a millionaire?
Mhm.
Probably pretty slim, right?
Right.
But by doing the best that he could, God opened those doors for him and allowed him to, make millions of dollars. And in turn, he blessed a lot of people.
Mhm.
A lot of people benefited from, the work that he did, including myself. So, commitment. Why won't people do for when it's only a $10? No, it's a $10 deal. Well, let's look at it
I
this way. Let's look at it this way, Tom, to try and
I
answer your question. Okay, literally by referring only one person, you can earn this kind of money. But what it takes is it takes for somebody that you sponsor to do the four who get four.
Mhm.
And so it's going to take one more level deeper for you to earn this money. You're not going to earn it through 5 levels. It's going to take you 6 levels to earn the 496. If
But
you
if
only
you
if you only
but
refer one.
but if I'm not saying one is not, but again, as you've said, John, on a couple occasions, one guy can make you wealthy in this business.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right. But if you just did personal referrals too, and everyone does too, anybody can do two,
Yeah.
okay, for $10. And if you drive that down, that's a huge, huge income. And my belief is anybody can do two.
Mm-hmm.
The average of people in my experience in the past, and I've been out of it a long time, but in my experience is the fact that as many times as they come to meetings and we talk and everything, for some reason, 4 or 5 or 6 is this seems to be unbelievable. When I was doing my business, I never worried about the downline. I had hundreds on my first level,
Right.
absolutely hundreds, and knowing that there will be certain percentage, as I said, the 80-20 rule,
Mm-hmm.
will force it down, and so the key to it is personally sponsoring. So but people, the average person, in my opinion, the masses, 4 is going to be a lot for them to do. But if they could see that they could just do 2, and they could see what that can bring them, then they might do the 3 or the 4 or the 5, because they're saying, just like you've said in this thing, and what happens if you go from 4 to 5? and your team does the same thing, and so forth and so on, you can see the difference. The calculator is the real key to it. If people can follow the calculator, so I think that's the stimulus and everything. But again, that's just my opinion. I just want to share it with you.
Okay.
And as I said, everyone's got an opinion, John.
Yeah. We can definitely talk about it. In the video where it talks about, refer one good person and that can
Right.
make you wealthy.
Right.
I kind of think no matter how simple you break it down, because, okay, if they will only refer one or two and it's not building fast like they hoped it would, they're probably not going to go, and get any more anyway. I think to me, the drive is to figure out how to make it very easy for people to recruit 4, 5, 10, 20, 100. I kind of know how that happens because what it really takes is it takes momentum. And so the core group, and that's us, we're building that foundation in a deep hole in the earth. And on top of that's going to be a huge skyscraper. And we would, even the core group would like it to happen faster than, than it is. But once we get that momentum, then those people who think they can't sponsor anybody or can only sponsor one or two, they will see other people making money and they'll jump all over this, and they too will be sponsoring 10, 20, 50, 100 people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you might be right. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in the past. I always look at the masses.
Yeah.
I don't look at James or Shirley or John or anything.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the masses. And
I've seen it happen 2 times.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is both times was with a 2-up plan.
Right.
And the interesting thing is in the first 2-up plan, people had to give up their first 2, not alternating, not the first and the third. They had to give up their first 2. So in order to earn money, they actually had to sponsor 3. They would never make any money on their first 2, so they had to sponsor 3 in order to make that happen. But once the momentum kicked in, it was just like everybody was bringing people in fast, and that was $100 entry in that particular company.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, definitely,
I hear you.
Definitely, these are ideas we can look at.
Mm-hmm.
Always appreciate the input.
Okay, no problem.
Any other comments? Before we close, let's talk about why, the reason why we join. When you register, and we hope everybody who's here tonight that's new does that, we also hope you know why. Because if you don't have a good enough reason, you're going to find excuses to fail. Just a fact of life. If you don't have a good enough reason, you'll find excuses to fail. And this might be the answer, Tom, or part of the answer is when you recruit somebody is you find their reason why. And then you call them up every day to hold them accountable. If they don't have a why, there's no point in calling them. But if they have something that they really, that they would really like to have, retire early, new car, go on vacation, whatever that reason is, if you can find, get that reason from them and then ask permission to call them daily and ask them how many people they invited, that's really what I found that works. Really nothing else gets average people to do what they can do. And the reason people fail in this industry, by and large, is because they don't have somebody to hold them accountable. That's the big downfall of self-employment. The big downfall of network marketing is you don't have somebody to hold you accountable. But when I met this gentleman and he held me accountable, then you see, then I began doing what was necessary to become successful. And this was the first time in my career that I really became, successful, was when this gentleman mentored me and held me accountable. I in turn held others accountable. I did what I did what I had to do to refer other people, which wasn't always comfortable, but nonetheless, because somebody was holding me accountable, I did it. And then when they joined, I began holding them accountable. And that created super success. And so as leaders, and we can all become leaders, a leader is just somebody who steps up and points the way to somebody else. You're one step ahead on the ladder as somebody else. And leaders don't have all the answers. A leader is somebody, if you have a downline member that asks you a question and you don't know the answer, you don't tell them a lie. You don't pretend that you know the answer. You say, well, that's a great question. Let me find the answer and I'll get back to you. That's a leader. That's all a leader is, okay? A leader is somebody who will take one step ahead of somebody else and point the way, even if they don't know the way themselves. They'll find the answer and then get back.
Right.
So, maybe you're at a point in your life where it's now or never. I think, we probably have some people on, in this webinar that it's now or never. This is the last rodeo. Things didn't turn out the way you expected. That retirement and Social Security isn't cutting it. Perhaps you need to pay off a mortgage. It could be retiring early, paying down credit cards, going on vacation, buying a homestead, whatever it may be. Well, whatever it is, you need to write it down. If you're just thinking about it, it's never going to happen. Writing it down has some psychological, neurological, and even spiritual power that goes beyond simply thinking about something. And here's some key differences. Thoughts are slippery. They overlap. They quickly fade. They get drowned out. We have many distractions. Writing something down shapes your thoughts into something clear and concrete. Taking notes activates language centers, spatial awareness, and memory. Writing externalizes the thought, making what you write stick more deeply. It creates a second brain on paper or on a screen. Written goals, plans, prayers, they're proven to be recalled and acted upon at a far higher rate than only a thought, only thinking about it. Writing creates a record that you can return to and hold yourself accountable. Writing affirmations, gratitude lists, even struggles, that stirs emotions. It makes you feel them more deeply, and that emotional intensity fuels transformation. Even the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. So the idea is you write down your plan. The Bible says if you don't have a vision, you're going to perish. You're going to fail. Write the vision and make it plain so that when you come back and read it, it causes you to take action. It causes you to run, not walk. Let me tell you, folks, it's far easier to build a business fast than it is to build it slow. If you're making one invitation in a week, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to fail long before you get to where you want to go. But if you really dig in and build your business fast, it's exciting. There's adrenaline. It's like you can see things happening and you just want to do more. So writing down your vision in a clear and complete manner causes you to take action. and not only take action, but to get where you're going much faster. Writing turns a desire into a vision, something you can see, declare, and align with faith. It shifts energy from imagination into manifestation. And why is that important? Because it's your why. And if you have a strong enough reason to do anything, you will succeed. If you have a strong enough desire to do BDM, you will succeed. But without a strong reason and commitment, you're surely going to fail at almost everything. I think everybody has a why. If you just spend a little time thinking about it, and I encourage you to do that, because when you become intentional, amazing things happen. When you stay focused and intentional on what it is that you want, things line up in your favor and start falling like dominoes one after another. So like I said in the beginning, whatever your reason is and however much it costs to finish your project, you can accomplish it on this platform. So the question is, I don't know anybody, or who do I talk to, and what do I say? Let's talk briefly about enrolling new members. We all know people, okay? We might think we have no friends left. But first understand, we don't recruit. Recruiting is when you get someone to do something they don't want to do. Enrolling is getting someone to join because they're eager. They've taken the time to investigate and they see the same thing you saw. They see a way to change their own lives while helping others get their lives together. And who are your prospects? They're people just like you. Maybe you were on somebody's, no friends left list, and they took the courage to call you anyway. The fact that you're here proves that you're, the kind of person that you want to talk to. How do you approach others? Perhaps the same way someone approached you. Here's a simple approach you might try. I've got an idea for you, and it's okay for you to say no. That kind of approach takes the pressure off. It opens them up to take a look. Almost nobody will get offended if they don't feel pressure. And that keeps everybody happy. As long as you don't get offended if they say no. Now here's an approach that Tom shared with the group recently. John, I'm looking at a new venture and I would appreciate your opinion. Could I send you something and get your opinion? Now, I don't know that these are, the exact words, but I think the idea is valid. Kath shared a similar approach. She said, I just joined something and I would like your opinion. I want to know if I made a good decision or not. The idea is to never offend by making someone feel pressured. This should be fun. And it will be fun if you experience yourself being helped and you see members that you enroll achieving their dreams as well. There's nothing more satisfying to me than seeing somebody else or helping somebody else succeed. There's nothing more satisfying. It's great. It's great to get to the top of the mountain, but if you're there alone, it gets pretty lonely, doesn't it? And I can just tell you, my best friends and people who are as close as family, they're people I've met through network marketing. I have friends, going back 40 years. A lot of my friends have died, sadly, but, I have friends going back 20, 30, 40 years, and we're just, we're the best of friends. If I call or they call, it's just like we sit down and talk. We catch up. We have a great conversation, and it doesn't have to be about business. It's just being friends. And the best way to build this business is just create friends. And you don't do that by walking up to somebody and saying, hey, I got a business opportunity for you. You do that by being interested in them. I remember a story of two people on an airplane, and one person was pretty, an important person. I don't remember what his status was, but they began talking, and the person sitting next to him hardly said anything, but he just started asking questions of this person, and they talked for hours on the airplane, and the comment at the end was, you know, you're the best communicator, one of the best communicators I've ever met. And the person said almost nothing other than just ask questions. So when you ask questions, you learn about someone. You find out their interests, you find their why. You learn about their families and things that you can talk about later to actually show that you really are interested in them, not just about a business opportunity. And those are the kind of people who will join you in business, and they will do extremely well. Anyway, any other comments, questions? We've almost used up an hour. Well, friends, Brian, go ahead.
I'm just going to say good night, but going back to what Tom was commenting on, I tend to agree with him a little bit because I think the industry average is about 2.3 people per enrollee. But I think the important thing is to get one person, and then
Mm-hmm.
once you've got one and you can see some dollars in your back office, you can say, well, if I get two, if I get three, if I get four, but getting that first person is the most important. And I'm going to send you an email, John, because over the last few days, I've been writing an email to promote selling people on the idea of generating their own why. And then I'll follow up with a BDM, but I'll send that to you and have a look. Just
Okay.
one question to everybody that's on the board. Do you have any problems if I do a CC email to all of you? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I think we're all friends here, Brian.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
So I will
wouldn't
probably do that
worry
over the
about that.
weekend. We'll probably catch up with John later on tonight or maybe tomorrow and just to thrash out a few things. But I've copied John's list that he gave me onto one of my BDM files, and I will send out some information over the weekend and ideas that I have, and then let's put these ideas together and then try and work out a time where we can all meet conveniently, and just even if it's just a half an hour short meeting or sometime during the week, I can work in with you guys. It's always morning for me, and I'm always way ahead of you guys. So, for example, for me now, it's just coming on 11 a.m. on Friday morning. And so, yeah, I can work around it. Apart from Wednesdays, my time, I've got gym. And for the next week or so, I've got my treatments, my medical treatments. And that's knocking me around a wee bit, but it's all good.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, if you can, anybody that is on that list, and if you aren't on the list, would like to be there, um, feel free to put your name in the chat right now. Let's do that real quickly. If you click on chat, just type a note or raise a hand or something. Would love to have you join us on those meetings, and they're not going to be long or anything, unless we have something serious to talk about, I guess. Let me just make a comment. My comeback on this idea, um, and the reason really that I started with 4, and here's a team average of 2. See, that would put you at 288 a month. But the reason I started with 4 is uh, to to have something meaningful here. It's like if you don't have something meaningful here, you just got a few dollars. It's like why would I want to even recruit one or refer one? So if we don't start with something meaningful, I I think it's a deterrent instead of an incentive. Excuse me. Get a drink of water. And if a person, they can see the four and say, well, I mean, because we're telling them right up front, you don't have to do four. But here's what happens if if you do four and you have a team average of four, then, then it starts getting significant. I think you can go too crazy with the numbers. I know you can. You can make the numbers too big. You could, we could put this up to 10 and 10 and 10. Now we're looking at $48 million. See, that becomes unbelievable. But if we take a number, because I don't think anybody's really going to want to work hard for anything less than maybe, $500 a month. But, there are people that would take it, a lot of people would take a second, a part-time job, work at McDonald's or, someplace like that to make the two ends of the month come together. And there's people out there that, there really aren't good jobs available for them. But if they just went to work here, yeah, but realistically, folks, what are you doing? You're using the gifts that God gave you. You're using your mouth. You're doing something you've done all your life. You've invited people to birthday parties. You've invited people to dinner, to lunch, to, some meeting or function. We've done that all of our lives. And if you ask the question in the right way, in a non-offensive way, you should be able to ask that question over and over and over again. Truthfully. But maybe you got to put on the hard hat, whatever it takes to do it. But everybody can make this work. So in closing, I want you to picture this. When an Amish family or a community comes together to build a barn, no one family could raise those massive beams. It takes a group of people shoulder to shoulder, every hand contributing something extraordinary to take shape in a single day. And that's the power of community. This, is going to become more and more a community as we go forward. You're going to have that feeling of family as we work together, especially those who are, I believe, coming together on the leaderboard, where you get to know each other. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're building something greater than ourselves, something that's going to stand for generations. And we're not going to run out of people to talk to. You'll never run out of people to talk to. Alone, and the work is impossible or seems impossible, but united, it becomes unstoppable. So as we close tonight, I encourage you, to do your part. Grab a hammer, lend a hand, be part of building this legacy with us, because when we rise together, nothing can stop us. With that, we'll meet again on Sunday for those who like to be part of a faith-based sharing, where it's a transformation, self-improvement type of meeting, something that you might actually pay money for if you go to some of these professionals. And everyone is different. We delve into a lot of different things, but we're basically focused on principles that make you a better person, help you have better relationships, better finances, better health. And a lot of it is just, about training the mind to think the right thoughts, training the mouth to say the right words. Those are the things we're focused on our Sunday meetings. You're definitely welcome if you want to join. If not, we'll see you again on Tuesday. God bless and have a wonderful evening.
Good night, all.